Hi everyone. I'm so sorry I'm late. Sorry, there was just some technical issues. I'm going to switch
Thank
on the countdown. Oh, that's not what I'm trying to play right now. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Honestly, I don't know what is going on. I feel like the network or the I feel like Restream is against me today, but I'm not going to let that phase me. I'm going to get it together and get my mood together. Hi everyone. Hi lovelies. Welcome. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Thank you so much for hanging with us today. I actually have a lot I want to talk about today. But to start with, I want to talk about Jennifer from Basketball Wives. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and then we're going to watch a video together and then we will react to it and talk about it. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let me just make sure it's the right tab. Give me a second. Okay, so you should be able to see it. Let me see if I can make it less big because I feel like it's so huge at the moment. Okay, I think that's better. I have this weird thing where I feel like I have to be on the left-hand side. It's so weird, but I'm sorry, I have to do it. In my head, for some reason, I feel like I just have to be on the left-hand side. So I'm glad that I am on the left-hand side now. Okay, fine. Let's play the clip. Hit that like button as you guys come in. Let's play the clip. And let's watch it together.
Woman just off GP, like she's coming for this woman because she got invited, accepted the invitation, and then now Evelyn want to fold up in fetal position, like, oh, I'm scared. Why won't y'all defend me?
Okay, I
She
feel
attacked me,
like
like,
let me refresh it. Sorry, guys, because I feel like I missed
Well,
the
there's
start.
so much I have to discuss. But anyway, yeah, I just feel like I get it, like that's your girl, but you should also call her on bullshit too. And I feel like we never see her do that. Evelyn's in the wrong a lot, and Shawnee does not check her.
Sure.
So yeah,
yeah, I'm starting to see that too.
I'm a
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, it's all
Okay, I'm gonna pause that for a second. Jennifer is saying that Shawnee never checks Evelyn. My thing is like, yeah, but Shawnee is your boss, honey. Do you want to lose your job? Like, Jennifer, baby, Jennifer, are you trying to lose your job? Trying to check Shawnee. You know, Shawnee is, this is my opinion. I feel like Shawnee don't play like that. Shawnee is definitely not going to be playing no games with Jennifer. And so I just don't understand why Jennifer thinks it's okay to like be out here like checking Shawnee. Now, I get it. I agree with her. I don't feel that Shawnee calls Evelyn out because Evelyn does what Shawnee needs to be done. Think about it. If you're on reality TV, right, if you're going to have a friend, like Evelyn in the mix. You want a friend like that who is going to do whatever you need her to do. If Shani says to Evelyn, Evelyn, I need you to do this, stir up ish, best believe, this is my opinion, I feel like Evelyn will do it. But Jennifer, would you? If you're being asked to do all of that, would you do it? Absolutely not. So I'm not surprised that yeah, she's calling Shawnee out, but I'm just thinking like, girl, are you trying to come back next season? Like, let's not forget what Shawnee likes to do.
Thank
Do
you
you guys
for your
remember?
services.
Do you remember this? Okay. Had everybody gagged. Thank you for your services. That's the kind of person Shawnee is. She literally gagged everybody. Because we were thinking, wait, what? So does she want a repeat of thank you for your services? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because what are y'all going to do for money if this doesn't work out? If you lose that opportunity, what are you going to do for money? That's the question I have. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. The likes are not really matching. Barbara is saying Jennifer's choice is her choice. Evelyn's choice has been hers, in my opinion. They both have poor choices in men. Agreed, agreed, agreed. Like, say it louder. I completely agree with you. They both don't have great choices. They don't have a good track records when it comes to men. So it's just like it's the pot calling the kettle black. Although, in all fairness to Evelyn, we have not seen her date somebody to this with these many allegations to this extent. I know they're just allegations, but I do think that it's not looking good because it just feels like there's so much happening and there's so many things. Like I was listening to Girl Is That Legal, Anthony Simone Redwine, and I listened to one of the videos she did where she actually interviewed some of the alleged victims of Christian. And I was like, oh my God, this is actually a whole thing. Like initially I thought like, okay, I've heard a bit of chatter, but I didn't really like have or I hadn't heard that much. I just thought it was like chatter with the storylines and stuff. But then to hear that there are all these people who are trying to sue him and do a class action lawsuit, I'm like, wow, this is pretty serious. So this choice is a very risky choice, in my opinion, and probably the riskiest she has ever made. But she seems to be happy. She seems to be like, I don't care. I'm gonna ride it for as long as I'm able to ride it. That is it. That is all. I think that I also heard something that was very concerning for me, which is something where it was alleged. Now, like I said, I don't know if this is true. This is just alleged. I can't verify it, but I heard someone say something about there being a joint account in both Christian and Jennifer's name where some of the funds were coming into. So if that is the truth, girl, you could be in trouble as well. And apparently the feds are also involved. So I'm like, this is some serious mess. And if I were Jennifer, I would run far away from this mess. And being on the storyline, having this so public is just making things worse, in my opinion. Harriet is saying, hi, Harriet. How are you? It's been a while. Harriet is saying Jennifer is being influenced, it seems, in a not so good way. Absolutely. It feels like all of a sudden now she is being more vocal. I've never really seen Jennifer being that vocal. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Hit that like button. The likes are not matching. Don't be a hater. Please hit that like button. But anyway, so it feels like you're right. It feels like Jennifer suddenly has a backbone. Jennifer is really like going back at Evelyn and she's not playing. Like when you see even her talk about, okay, let me not spoil it because I was about to like start talking about some of the things, but let me keep on playing this and we'll continue talking about it in a second.
And let me tell you something. The network, y'all need to stop with the bullshit because once again, you put up the back and forth.
You are telling the network that pays you to stop with the BS. Girl, do you want a job next year, sister? Do you want a job? Do you need a job? Because the way you're going about it, it's not looking good. Because if you want to continue to work at a particular place, you are not going to be out here speaking on production like that, honey. It's not looking good. I don't know what you think this is, but that's not right. Yep.
with Evelyn and Armani and Auntie, and you continue to blur out that Evelyn called Auntie a cunt. Like, what are you protecting?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. I don't even like the use of that word. I hate that word so much. I hate that word so much. And the fact that now I hear that. So it sounds like production are hiding some of the things that Evelyn is doing, but then they're showing the other party. So the auntie, they're showing whatever Jen and Co do to respond. And that's the thing about production. Production clearly has a favorite. Like Shawnee has all those strings, and Evelyn is her girl. So whatever she's going to show would be whatever she feels like is going to show Evelyn in the best light possible. It's like a villain who gets the best edits. It's a win-win situation for Evelyn, if you ask me. Because it's like I get to do whatever I want and I can still get favorable edits so that people don't fully come for me. Of course, it's a win-win situation because it's like, think about it. It feels like Evelyn is the person that production sends to get things done. If that's the case, then maybe there's some sort of arrangement where production tells her you do this and then they give her a favorable edit in return. I don't know, this is just speculation, but what's to say that that is not what is happening here?
Her for?
Yeah,
she called her a cunt.
Y'all are the problem. Y'all are the problem. But
This is too much. If you want to come back, unless you guys really have money like that and you're not going to be out of work, because Jennifer, what are you going to do for money if you lose this check? Maybe you guys, maybe tell me if I'm wrong. Do you think that Jennifer has another opportunity of making money? Do you think Jennifer has businesses that make enough money that she doesn't need the basketball wives check? Let me know in the chat, because from where I'm sitting, it's given like, girl, are you trying to lose this check? Are you trying to lose this check, Henny? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
because y'all protect this woman, and we know the real. We have the screenshots. We have the paper trail of
what
her
really
coming.
Happened?
Her coming from my aunt. My aunt.
Oh, okay. Not a paper trail of her coming for the aunt. Production will show what viewers want to see. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is why they're using this as a huge storyline, because they already know there is a lot of things on social media about Christian allegedly. And so, of course, they're like, all right, let's make this into a whole storyline and make some money out of it. And I think that that is what they are doing. But I do also think that they do give Evelyn a decent enough edit. So I'm not surprised.
Wouldn't want to come for this woman just off GP. Like, she's coming for this woman because she got invited, accepted the invitation, and then now Evelyn want to fold up in fetal position like, oh, I'm scared. Why won't y'all defend me?
Okay. Do you guys really believe that Jennifer does not know all of the things that are allegedly going on in the social media streets when it comes to Christian? Do you think she genuinely believes that like people are just hating on Christian, or do you think she knows and just doesn't care? Let me know what you guys think in the chat.
She attacked me. Like, nobody want to hear all that. Like, we're going to call you out on your BS. Because
Jennifer, it's definitely very, very sad just seeing her, just looking at her like that, and just seeing her just be like so out of her element. It's like, baby, what is going on? You're out here riding for this man. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm loving the fact that she's speaking up for herself. I'm just concerned about, girl, you don't want to lose that basketball wives check, or maybe she doesn't need money, because maybe I don't know enough about her. Barbara is saying Jennifer has her trust fund money. Oh, okay. So she's not really worried about being on the show. On the other hand, Evelyn depends on the show for income. Wow. Okay. Now, I did not know Jennifer was a trust fund baby, but that makes a lot of sense. That definitely explains a lot of things. And that is probably why she does attract a lot of scammers, because people know that about her and they're just like, okay, at least she has the resources. It's very sad, but yeah.
That's that's nuts.
Yeah, when
That's
a bully
crazy.
gets bullied, it's not so fun, huh? But you could talk shit about everybody else. But the minute somebody says something about you, oh, why didn't you defend me? I would never let anybody talk about you.
Oh my goodness. Do you guys know anything about Jennifer's parents? I'm just curious, like how, because they weren't at the wedding, at least the wedding that we saw. So are they in support of this marriage? Like, how do they feel about it? Also, like Christian's mom, we didn't see Christian's mom on the show. It was just his auntie. So I'm just like, is there something there as well? I'm just a little bit curious. Harriet says, ooh, so Harriet thinks that Jennifer knows about the shady dealings of the alleged, sorry guys, please don't come for me, alleged shady dealings of Christian. If she doesn't know, she would wonder why people say the things that they say. That's a very good question. Because it's like, if you can't bury your head in the sand so much. If people are saying like, yo, I'm gonna tell FBI, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, or let me pass on, your details to the FBI or whatever. So it's like, or let me pass the FBI details to you so you can speak to them about the whole Christian thing. It's like, if you really wanted to find out information to verify whether or not this is true, you could have. And so the fact that you're choosing not to do that tells me that there's something more going on here. So I guess that then begs the question, is it love? Is it that she loves Christian and she wants to ride for him till the wheels fall off? Or is it something more sinister? Is it that Christian has something against her, something on her? These are just questions. I'm just asking questions. Cause it just feels very much like, how would you knowingly put yourself in such a situation when you know that something like lawsuits may be coming down the pipeline? I just don't understand that. Especially like a woman of a particular age, you expect more wisdom. And to think that you don't have enough wisdom to make sure that at this stage of your life, you're very careful about who you decide to marry. Like, some people don't even get the opportunity to find out that their partners have shady dealings, right? So, like, that's the thing. So it just feels like, if people don't really know like their partners have shady dealings, then I understand. But then if you know, and like there's potentially FBI could be involved, and all these people are saying all these things, why would you not investigate? Why would you not want to find out more? Why would you go ahead to have a joint account with somebody like that? I just don't understand it. Like, is there no sense of self-preservation? That is very worrisome for me. Um, Harriet says he knows that the trust fund is there. I'm sure he wants private access to it without being noticed. Wow. Wow. That's very interesting. Imagine like that is actually why he's like riding it out and being and dealing with this, knowing fully well that he's just trying to get in there financially. That is crazy. And she's falling for it again. But I think maybe this is a bit different in the sense that because he defends her and rides for her, she's probably just like, I don't mind, I'm gonna ride for him till the wheels fall off. Mm-mm. Oh, I see. Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. If her mom has passed, then yeah, that would explain why she's able to get married without like necessarily having her mom there. Okay, Harriet says maybe she loves him, but she knows that he will stay for whatever the reason may be. Interesting. I suspect that imagine, like, what if he gets like convicted or something, and then he has to be in, in the clink clink for ages? What's she going to do? Maybe she feels like she genuinely does not have any option, and if he so far is the one that treats her well and the one that she's happy with, then maybe that's well, maybe she's resigned to her fate and she's just like, whatever happens, I'm a ride for this man regardless. Because sometimes I feel like you get to that point where you're just like, all right, I feel like this is it. So maybe she's gotten to that point where she's like, this is it. But yeah, alienation may be the goal. So, Harriet, shed a little bit more light on that. Do you feel like Christian is trying to alienate her from other people, like her friends or family? Let me know what you think about that, because that is something that I've also been thinking about. In the cling cling. Exactly. Like I was just like, cling cling. And imagine her going to go and do conjugal visits. Like, oh my gosh, that would be crazy. It's like, why, sis? Why would you put yourself in this predicament where you, as a grown ass woman, is having to go over there to be doing conjugal visits? Like, nah, craziness. Don't do that if you don't have to, please. But anyway. All right, let's keep watching.
Girl, bye. And I don't even want to talk about her because she's like, in her words, a non-factor.
Yeah, I mean, she treading on thin ice because like I'm gonna keep it real. It's only
But what are you going to do, Christian? You're telling her to thread on, or she's threading on thin ice or something. Like, but what are you going to do? You're a man. It's not like you're gonna pull up and do what? Get in her face. Like, you're not gonna do anything. So there's really nothing you're going to be able to do. I'm sorry. So yeah, I always find it weird when men say stuff like that. Because I'm like, what are you gonna do? What will you do?
only so many buttons you could push for me when you talk about my wife.
Okay.
Because I know, well, it's so much I have to discuss. But anyway, yeah, I just feel like I get it, like that's your girl, but you should
Oh, we've watched this bit. Yeah, I do think that Jennifer, like, if this man ends up in jail, like, oh, did I say the word? Clink clink. If this man ends up in the clink clink, girl, I wish you the best, because I don't know how you're going to cope with him being in the clink clink, especially if you still have to be on Basketball Wives. Maybe she'll remove herself from Basketball Wives at that point. Who knows? Harriet is saying yes, if he alienates from people who care about her well-being, then he has total access and control. Absolute freaking lutely. And that's what a lot of manipulative people do. They make sure they alienate you from all the people that genuinely care about you. So all of the people that you would have around you would be their people that have been almost like installed there, right? You install all your people, so all her friends are now the people that are originally your friends, and they have more of a loyalty to you as opposed to her. But then in terms of her friends, it's always, oh, I don't like that person. And I saw a little bit of that, in my opinion, when he was dealing with Brandy. So when Brandy came, and his energy towards Brandy, I was like, wow, that is a lot of energy, sir, for Brandy, especially someone who has finally shown up to your wedding. It At least she was at your wedding. She didn't give the impression she came and brought smoke to your wedding, but instead it felt like he was ready to go at her about her previous comments. But I'm like, if her and Jennifer are good, then why do you need to address that? You need to just stay out of it. So I thought that was very weird to me personally. Guys, please hit that like button. The like don't be matching, guys. Hit that like button. please and thank you. So Harriet says he says things on the public forum that sound very suspect. If something were to happen to Evelyn, even accidentally, like, oh my goodness. That is a very stupid thing to say. If you're saying stuff that insinuates that like something could happen to her, it's like, why are you putting yourself at risk? And this is the thing, and I'm gonna say this in general without like naming names, or this is the thing I can't stand about scammers. You know you're a scammer, but into the public, you come on a public reality TV show, knowing fully well that you don't have you're a scammer. Of course, the truth is going to come out. It is going to come out. Like you are on social media completely out here portraying your life as you're living this extravagant life, but you cannot afford that life. It's such a stupid thing to do. And this is why a lot of these people get caught. And when I think about like big people, like big so-called scammers, right, that got away with it for years, what you find is they were so unassuming. They looked like regular people. They weren't out here spending money, living life like it's golden, out here traveling in private jets and stuff. They were modest with it. Nobody knew they had ish. And that's why they were able to get away with it for so long until they got sloppy on a particular deal or something, right? But these people, their social media be telling on them. Like, for example, him going to violating his probation. How was that found out? Probably on social media. Probably because he was posting about traveling and doing all these things. That's probably how they found out. So it's like, how are you living a certain life? You're living life on the edge, but you're putting your life out there just because you want public validation. It is a sickness, in my opinion. If you know you ain't about that life, you have something to hide. Don't be out here, living life, showing us that how much you spend in a day. It's like, girl, how can you afford to spend that? The feds are watching. They are watching. They have people that come and scan through social media platforms, in my opinion. Okay? I'm not gonna say. So it's just a very stupid thing to do. And when you say things like this, insinuate things like that, that is proof. When they start to cultivate a story, a case against you, they have all of these things, your own words as proof. It's the most stupidest thing ever. Ever. And so I'm just like, that's why you lot get caught. A lot of people don't be getting caught because they're not out here pushing their life on social media. They're quiet. Think about Simon Gobadia. I wonder if ICE would have caught him or wouldn't have caught him if he was in private and wasn't on social media platforms like that, publicly out there like that. Would he have just been able to fly under the radar? But I just think like these people just get so obsessed with wanting fame and then it ends up in tears. Absolutely. And I agree. It shows what is more important to the person. Totally agree. For some people, it's like they care more about being rich. And then for other people, they care more about being famous than being rich. Being rich is not enough for them. And the saddest part of it is like they then start to make certain compromises just because they want to be famous. And then you have the fame, and then you lose, for some people, they lose the wealth, they lose the all of the things that they had previously before they were so-called chasing fame. So it's like you gotta balance it up. If you're no one is saying you can't want fame, absolutely not. Like no one is saying that. Like for me now, I'm doing content. I would love for my content to get a lot more subscribers, a lot more engagement. I definitely would want my platform to grow. Absolutely. That goes without saying. But if you're out here doing some shady business, it's crazy for you to be out here like showing off. Imagine you're coming on this platform or you're coming on your platform, you're like, ooh, I was flying private last night. And people are like, girl, what'd you do for money that you fly private? These sorts of questions are what the feds are now going to be looking at and be making a case. So anyway, that rant over. It's just I've seen so many people live that kind of life, and it's so annoying. It's so disappointing when people ruin their lives over 5 minutes of fame. Yes, it's like they're jumping up and down saying, look at me, look at yep. That is exactly what it is. It's almost like I need everyone to see. And let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with, if you spent your money and it's a legitimate whatever and you want to show off, that's your business. But I mean specifically for people that you know how you got this. You snatched this thing off the next man, right? And then you're coming out to make it seem like, oh, look at what I got. And then now they have evidence against you showing that you stole that item, for instance, right? So yeah, I just think it's just some stupid things that like you shouldn't be doing at this big age. You should know better than that. Anyway, I think it'll be interesting to see how the reunion goes. Because I feel like Jennifer is gonna come at the reunion. She is probably going to bring some smoke, but Evelyn is going to be on 10,000. And I also think, especially now that she's come for production and Shawnee, I will not be surprised if certain receipts are waiting for them at the reunion. That's what I honestly believe. I feel like at this point, think about it. Evelyn now has the liberty to bring all so-called in quotation marks proof to the reunion. Yeah, it's fine if you don't have to worry about legal problems hanging over your head. Absolutely agree. Like you work hard for your money, it's your money, or you're a trust fund baby, don't care, but it's legit. Show off as much as you want. It's your thing. Just be safe because people out here could also be like trying to find out where you live. But just make sure you're safe, right? But when it comes to like what you don't own, you took, yeah, illegal stuff, like please, yeah, mm-mm. Ooh! I'm waiting for the day when Jennifer says she wishes she had listened. Sis, I do not know. She's going to have to eat her words, to be honest, at some point. She's going to have to because when I went on and I was watching Girl, It's That Legal, it was given that there are so many people allegedly. And it was given that the FBI have also been involved, right? So if that's the case, then maybe they're building a case in the background against him. So it's only a matter of time before there is some sort of repercussion, right? Even if it's in civil lawsuit or whatever, it's given that there's going to be some repercussion at some point very soon. So I wish that she did not go through with that Vegas wedding because that was legal, apparently. Because it's like, girl, if you're gonna date and marry somebody like that, best make sure that it is not going to be best make sure that it's not going to be on the record. Make sure that it's not a legitimate marriage. Just go, you know, do a ceremony in front of people. That's okay. But out here, making it official, knowing fully well that there are all these things coming up in the pipelines, honey, good luck. So I don't even think she's ready for what is coming, especially when she's like telling people to stay out of it. It's like there comes a point where you alienate your friends so much that even when ish is going on with you, they're just like, yeah, nah, I'm not coming to help you. I'm not coming to save you. We try to warn you, then it's now your problem to carry. And I don't want to say I'm worried for her, but I am concerned for her that it may get to the point where her friends are like, please, I do not want to be bothered with you. You knew what he was, who he was, yet you put your head in it. Ain't nobody forced you to be out here dating this man. Not to talk of now marrying this man. And people warned you. It's like when people warn you about somebody, sit down and really, really think. Do I want to end up with this person? Do I want to make sure is this who I want to end up with? Am I going to end up with egg on my face? Anyway, moving in silence, absolutely. Okay, I want to shift gears a little bit to Porsha and the girlies from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, word on the street is that today is the reunion. Andy looked a little tired. So I'm like, Andy, is everything okay? Are you all right? What is going on? I wish that we could get some leaks. I know that sounds bad. But I wish like somebody would leak something. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm back. Um, okay, let me just read this comment before we move on. It's becoming offensive because they're trying to show that they care, but she doesn't care. Absolutely. I think there comes a point where you just say, "Do you know what? If this is who you want to be with, that is your problem. If you don't care that he may be a scammer, allegedly, then why should I care? Why should it be my problem?" And I think this is also the issue that people have with Evelyn. People feel like Evelyn, this woman knows who she's marrying. If she wants to marry that man, leave her alone. There's no reason why you're so angry about who she wants to marry. If that's who she chooses to marry, just leave her alone. And I feel like it has that's where it has come up to. If I were a friend to Jennifer, I would be like, girl, I would not come to your wedding because I feel like it's obvious that I cannot, support you in that way, but I wish you the best. I hope it works out. But I can't come and witness something that I genuinely believe that is a problem, honestly. So, like, I know there's some people where okay, they're marrying someone that you don't like or you don't think is a good fit. That's another thing. I would still go to the wedding. But if it's something as serious as allegations that sound like there is some truth to them, like, yeah, I will not be going to that wedding because I do not want to be associated with it. And I also don't want you to have the impression that I'm supporting that union personally. That's where I draw the line. Like, I know, I'll give you an example. I know someone who is about to marry someone I personally do not like. Um, but she's about to marry this man. So when they first started dating, I told her what my views were about the whole thing. And during certain times when she would ask me, I'll give her my honest opinion. Yet they get married. So my thing is, he hasn't done anything to the extent of allegations or anything of that level. So what do? I say, okay, I may not see it for him, but you've chosen him. So I'm going to just stay out of it and be as supportive as possible. But it's nothing illegal. So I'm still going to come, I'm still going to support you, and I will be there if things don't work out, regardless. That's different. But if it's something illegal and is obvious, and I've told you and I've tried to get you to see sense and you choose to go ahead with it, I will not be there. Absolutely nothing illegal in that equation. Absolutely. Completely agree. Is Evelyn clocking Jennifer's dollars? If so, why? This is a good question because it feels like Evelyn is so invested and I just don't get it. Like, I've loved people down, but it's your choice. It's your life. No, you can't live anybody's life. You can't force anybody to live your life. Like, for me, I'm just like, I just don't really get it. I don't get it at all. It's team too much. It's team like, girl, you're pressed. It's like you don't have anything going on in your life and you're so sensitive. When anyone talks about you, you're like, you guys sat down and you let his auntie talk about me and you guys said nothing. But girl, you are the one always causing drama. You're in everybody's business. Nobody can talk about your family, but you talk about everybody's families and what they have going on. It's just like it's a double standard that doesn't make sense. And so I just think like Evelyn is one of those people where it's like do as I say, not do as I do, basically. So yeah, it's a shame. But I think part of it is also Jennifer has allowed it for such a long time. I think Jennifer has lived in the shadow. Jennifer has lived in the shadow of Evelyn for so long. Jennifer has allowed Evelyn to say and do whatever when it comes to her and other people. And it feels like now Evelyn has now turned that venom towards her. That's just what I feel. Hit that like button, guys, as you guys come in. Hit that like button. Absolutely. I think I've always known this from day one of her being on this show. She thrives on drama. But you know what's interesting? It's drama that she creates as opposed to her drama. Like, most times it's the drama that she creates. It's almost like she's sitting down and thinking, ooh, this season, what drama am I going to orchestrate? Who am I going to fight with this season? That's what it almost feels like, because it feels like every season, no matter what, there has never been a season where I'm like, oh, Evelyn is just so quiet and she's not doing or stirring the pot or doing anything crazy. Never. It from day one, it's always been some drama, something that she is involved in. Absolutely, always, always. That being said, right? Do you guys feel like would you still watch another season of Basketball Wives? Because Basketball Wives has been going on for such a long time. And I know a lot of times we are like, oh, we're tired of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But for some reason, Basketball Wives is one of the shows that feels like we've continued to be doing for such a long time, or has continued to be going on for such a long time. Has continued going on. Where's my I can't speak English tonight. Has continues to at this point continues to go on for such a long time. Or has continued for such a long time. Fine, I'm gonna just say that. And it's just like it's just been going on for such a long time, yet we're still watching it, yet we're still talking about it, yet we're still so engaged. And I always wonder, like, why is it that we're all still so engaged these many years later? And what is it about Basketball Wives? For those of you who watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, what is it about Basketball Wives that you think that Real Housewives of Atlanta is missing? It's just something that I was curious about, because I was like, every time I see comments about Real Housewives of Atlanta, people are talking about, yeah, nah, it's not that good, you know, it needs to go back to the good old days and stuff like that. But I feel like now, but every time Basketball Wives is really talked about, I don't really hear people talking about like taking it back to the good old days. It seems like people are still like just talking about whatever the conversations are on, which is why I'm like, how have they managed to have that longevity and still have viewers? So let me know what you guys think in the chat. I'm just very curious about that. Laura says Jen's husband's family has attached them to Jen and her fund. Yep, that's what it's given. It's given like she is the breadwinner of the family, because the way I think I was saying it in one of my previous reviews, where I was saying the way everyone seems to be riding and defending Jennifer is the way people ride and defend their cash cows. If you know this is the person that feeds you and pays your bills and ensures that you're getting paid and you're good and you're eating good and life is good for you and your family, best believe I'm not gonna let nobody talk to you anyhow. We gonna step in, because that's how you get your food for the week. So I feel like that is the vibe I'm getting when it comes to Christian's family. I may be wrong, but it feels like they definitely value her on such a deeper level. And I'm like, is it financial? Or is it just emotional? Is it just that they love Jennifer so much? And so that's why they're riding for Jennifer. But I personally believe that money makes the world go round. So I feel like it's more likely to be money related. That's just my sneaky suspicion. But yeah. But do you guys think that Basketball Wives is doing something that Real Housewives of Atlanta is not doing? Let me know in the chat. I'm just very curious. Because I'm just like, is there something that Andy and or all the people over there at Real Housewives of Atlanta production team, everybody, is there anything that they can learn from Basketball Wives to take the next season of Real Housewives to the next level? Because this season was not it. Now, I did have a lot to talk about when it came to Shamia, Drew, and Porsha, but aside that, like I was not entertained enough, and I felt like there was too many sneak peeks out. I felt like I knew too much about the show before the show aired. And I think that all of that affected the ability for me to really enjoy the show this season when it comes to Real Housewives. Personally, I just feel like, yeah, it just felt very different this season. It felt like there was even a day when I was trying to watch the latest episode and I clicked on it and I logged back out because I thought that I'd watched it already, only because I had seen a sneak peek of that scene already and I watched the whole thing. So it just felt so much like I was rewatching what I've already watched, and I thought, oh God, maybe they've not brought out a new episode. But it was the new episode. And so that's why I say, like, there's so much happening on social media, there's so much happening in um a lot of these like platforms where you can literally like see sneak peeks on you on Instagram. And so before you know what's happening, you've watched sneak peeks. It feels like you've watched the whole show, and then they're just like, when you watch the show, it just feels like, oh, there's really not much to see here, like there's really not much to even talk about. So yeah. Anyways, let us shift gears a little bit. I think I'm tired of talking about Jennifer. Let's move on to Porsha Peach Juice. Okay, so one last one before we move on from Jennifer. Laura says Jen's family husband sure. Oh, I read that wrong. Jen's husband family sure loves her or the funds that come with her. Yep, say it louder. That's really what it feels like. Definitely, there is something there, and is given money, 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 money. Okay. All right, let's move on to Kelly and Porsha. So let me share this tab with y'all instead. So you guys should be able to see this. Now, you guys know I watch Porsha's, you guys may not know, but anyway, I watch Porsha's YouTube channel. And she's a lot more entertaining on the YouTube channel, I will say, than she has been on this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I would definitely recommend the channel. I feel like it's a really, really good watch. But nonetheless, she talked about the upcoming reunion in one of her latest episodes, right? And here's the thing, Kelly is then chiming in. My thing about Kelly is, for somebody who is okay, let me be nice as possible. I feel like Kelly is getting involved in what doesn't really concern her. Because as far as we know, Kelly and Portia do not have beef. They do not have beef. So I don't know why you're so pressed about Portia when you and Portia don't even have that dynamic going on the show. It comes across as contrived and weird, and also it gives lapdog. Actually, it gives like, now you are lapping for your friend Shamia. That's what it's given, because it's like, I don't really see anything, at least so far we've not seen anything that gives the impression that Kelly should have an issue with Portia. But when she's been at interviews, it's been constantly shading Portia, and it's like, girl, you're shading somebody that does not even have beef with you. Like, it's weird. And so for me, it's like, this lady had her whole thing talking about the reunion. She even talked about how like she's ready to take accountability, all that kind of stuff. And then it's like now you're talking about Andy needs to get her a harness. I'm like, girl, what is going on? But anyways, let me play this video for you guys first, and then we'll talk about Kelly.
I'm looking forward to this reunion so that we're all going to be in the same room. We don't have to worry about Kelly trying to talk over everybody and be the moderator. She seems like she does the best job she can, but we don't need that from her. We have a real host, which is Andy, and Andy is going to be able to move through the conversation and let people speak who need to speak. And my biggest focus will definitely be for each person to be heard. I feel like at the end of the day, when it comes to truth, you got to hear all sides. And I feel like the audience watching this season was confused.
Yeah. Yeah. We all were confused by a lot of things because a lot of things were just not adding up. And it felt like a lot of things were edited extremely. Like, I say extremely because I'm like, yeah, a lot of things were being edited left, right, center. It was given crazy work. It was not fun. It was just like drama, unnecessary drama, no fun. I hated the Porsha, Dennis, and Drew storyline. Absolutely dreadful. They could have kept that in drafts. What other storyline did I hate? Of course, the Kenya and Brits situation. Horrible. What I would have loved to see more of is Cynthia and Portia's Kiki. You know, hopefully Shami and Porsha getting along, kicking and laughing together and having a good old time. I would have loved seeing the girls having fun instead of all these contrived drama. And I feel like the reason it used to work so well in the past was because it was like these people showing their lives, having fun, and then a little bit of shade in the middle. Now it feels like everybody is overly trying to be shady and it doesn't come across right at all. Kelly, for instance, always been so shady in confessionals, in interviews, and I'm like, girl, when you're in these people's faces, where's the shadiness? It kind of falls flat, in my opinion. But anyway, let's keep watching.
About a lot, right? I mean, y'all definitely were confused and upset with me, and you're confused as you see, other people and their actions and things like that.
Yeah, we were definitely upset, confused, shocked. We didn't know what we were watching. For the most part, we did not know what we were watching because we're like, generally, you seem cool. All of a sudden, we're seeing things that make it look like you're a crazy person, you're doing too much. And then we're seeing you and Shamia, and then we're seeing the cracks in y'all's relationship. Then we're seeing Shamia moving snakily with the whole talking to people that are not your friends about you. It's just like, yeah, we definitely are not feeling this season. We do not like this season. I feel like this season should not have happened. That's how I feel. And it's so funny how they always hype the season that, oh, you guys, the season's gonna be amazing. Like, please shut up. Please. Because what we've been watching has not been amazing. No. Mm-mm. What would you rate this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta? Let me know in the chat. 1 being terrible, 7 being excellent. What would you rate it? 1 being terrible, 7 being excellent. Let me know in the chat what you would rate the current season of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
And so I just feel like this is the perfect opportunity to bring all the truth to the reunion. This is going to be the most truthful reunion ever. And I'm so freaking excited about it. I don't usually bring receipts, but this reunion, they're needed. They are absolutely needed. They are absolutely needed. So I am looking forward to this.
I would say reunion, better bring those receipts, Porsha, because you're out here telling us you're going to bring receipts. You better bring those receipts and make sure those receipts are receipting. Because if they are not, people will hate you even more. People already hate you. If you think they hated Kenya, girl, they hate you more than they ever hated Kenya. So if you're going to come back, I'm gonna need you to bring the receipts and make sure those receipts are receipting. I'm gonna need you to get a second party, a third party, a few people to read the receipts for you to make sure those receipts are going to land. Because I feel like Porsha has a way of being like, oh yeah, da, 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 and then in reality, it really doesn't give anything. So it's like, girl, let's make sure when you say receipts, the receipts are going to be receipting. Because so far, the receipts, at least those text messages with Drew and Porsha or whatever, or Drew and Dennis, was not it. So if that's one of your receipts, just scratch it out like quickly because it ain't gonna work. I'll say 4. Okay, so you're rating the season of 4. Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Maybe even a 3. But okay, let me just yeah, 3. 3 or 4. 3 or 4. I would say I'm leaning towards a 3 or 4 personally because I would say as much as I didn't like the whole Porsha and Shamia, I felt like it was interesting to see how the first episode, everyone loved Shamia. Shamia became a fan favorite. And then by the end, towards the episode 10 or so, people started to hate Shamia. And it's interesting how people really turn, how things really change for a lot of people. It's like 1 minute you're a favorite, next minute nobody likes you. Same as Porsha. Porsha used to be a fan favorite for such a long time. This season is her worst season yet, with people who are just like, they do not like Porsha at all. At all. There's even been a lot of people saying like she should not come back next season. And I'm like, I don't think so. I feel like just because someone had one bad season, I don't think that they shouldn't not come back, especially if they have been on the show for a while. And shown themselves to be a good addition. It's like, for instance, you work, right? You're at a workplace, you always give your best. And then let's say the one day you don't give your best, or you have one bad month after being there for years, and then they tell you, well, we're going to fire you because you did not bring it this 1 month after you've been there for years. It should be more of a cumulative experience, in my opinion. That's just how I see these things. Now, if you've given her 2, 3 seasons since she's back and nothing has happened, then I can understand you saying, okay, girl, let's put you on a performance thing where we watch your performance. And if you don't bring it, then we are going to have to then let you off. But I just don't think someone having one bad season after how many years of delivering should be the end of their tenure on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But let me know what you guys think. Would you want to see Porsha back next season? Barbara said, when Porsha wanted to fight Dennis's mom, showed me who she really is. Sis, please don't even remind me about that. Crazy. Like, I do not believe in fighting nobody's mama. Absolutely no. Absolutely, absolutely no. Mm-mm. No, no, no. It's clink clink. Did I say click click? Oh, that is funny. I'm just like, whatever the case may be, lock him up. Lock his ass up. No, but only if he's guilty, of course. I'm not in the business of trying to get anybody locked up. Anyways, let's keep watching.
This reunion so that we're all going to be in the same room. We don't have to worry about Kelly trying to talk over everybody and be the moderator.
Oh, we've already watched that. Okay, so then let's read what Kelly has to say. Okay, finally, now Andy, please get this girl a harness so she can finally sit down and answer the questions she's been avoiding. There will be no ass passes at reunion. Oh, we'll see someone finally get held accountable. Hashtag she's a runner, she's a track star. Girl, please. Now, do I agree with her that a lot of people need to get held accountable? Yes, including Porsha. Porsha, my love, I feel like there are certain things on this season that I feel like, yeah, you do need to be held accountable for. You called that woman a downright low dirty individual. I felt like that was entirely too much, sister. But I do also think Drew needs to be held accountable for why couldn't you just give your so-called friend a heads up before you're out here working with her baby daddy? That's it. Yeah, just doesn't make any sense. But anyway. So let us move on. Let me see if there are any comments that are interesting. I love Kelly, definitely here for all of the shenanigans. Porsha sounds like she's gaslighting. Who said they were confused about what was happening with her in the scene? Anyone? Yeah, some people said they were confused, but I guess someone said, well, some of us. Fair enough. Because some people were like, they don't know what's going on. Someone said every time she lies, she grows another tooth. It's giving mask at this point, guys. No one can carry Real Housewives of Atlanta alone, not Nene nor Kenya, and definitely not Porsha, as she has shown. Producers need to get back the big hitters together and get rid of the newbies other than Kelly. Oh, please get rid of Kelly. I miss the genuine sisterhood. Absolutely. This comment I agree with, except the bit about Kelly. And I say that I agree with it because I've always said it's an ensemble cast. If all of the cast members were not together, it's like it's not going to work out. The reason it works is because they bounce off each other very well. It's like they keep each other on their toes. This new people, the dynamic, the chemistry is not there, and that is the problem. There's a reason why in the past, the way Real Housewives used to cast people is they will bring you as a friend of the show, observe the way the dynamic of how that person behaves with the rest of the group. That is what kind of lets them know, okay, should we bring this person? Should we consider bringing this person as a full time? Give them more of a, give them more responsibility. But this time around, they didn't do all of that. And all of that is a problem, as we can see, because this season has not been it. This season has not brought anything. It has not brought anything at all. So yeah, I think yeah, giving it a 4 or 3 makes sense to me. All right, let's move on to Porsha and Momma Dee. So I'm gonna share this tab a little bit. Okay, let me refresh this first and let me share this tab. Okay. So I'm going to play out loud from here. So it seems like Drew is out here trying to perform, and then somebody decides to bring up Porsha and Drew, and I'm just like, oh gosh. Now Drew looks good.
They got some mess going on.
And then now Momma Dee starts talking about Porsha and Drew have some mess going on. It's like, Momma Dee, mind your business. This is not your franchise. And this is how you're gonna get dragged, Mama.
You know, I don't know what's going on with Porsha this season. Check. But she approves of Drew for taking her hot dog man.
I can't let that crack me up. Sorry, I'm out here drinking some lemon and honey because that throat. But I'm like, okay, Momma Dee.
You know, I don't know why she think Drew want a hot dog man. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So here's my thing, Momma Dee. Is like, mind your business. Mind your being naive, because you get so upset every time. You get so upset every single time you hear anyone talking about your children, talking about Scrappy, talking about you hate it. So why are you getting involved in something that ain't got nothing to do with you? It's like it's none of your business. Stay out of it. So anyway, Porsha then responds saying, Dennis has one baby mother and well established. Okay. With great artist on his record label. Put that tooth in and he might just sign you, Momma Dee. Love you. Ooh. That tooth, oh my goodness. And then the picture right there, you see that tooth. Oh no. Oh no. Mm-mm. Porsha ain't playing. Porsha is like, do you know what? This season, I'm a villain and I'm a ride in the villain. I'm a ride in my villain era. That is what Porsha is given. Because Porsha is like, yeah, nah, enough of it. I'm not allowing people to be out here talking about me. I'm gonna be out here defining myself and clapping back. Okay? Girl, the truth is like, how did I get in it?
Can I get a witness tonight?
Not them putting a video of the tooth falling out. Oh my goodness. Dennis says, I love Scrappy. I don't speak bad to anyone's mother. And I respect my elders, so I'm just gonna be quiet here. Absolutely. It's like, bruh, let me not get involved because rude much. And Drew's like, you're my mom and now we genuinely had a time. Oh, let me mute it because I feel like there might be music, but let's watch her tooth fall out again. Oh! Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Do you know what? I've never actually seen the video of her tooth falling out. Oh my gosh. That definitely creeped me out. Mm-mm. Did she put it back in? Let's just go watch and see if she puts it back in. Eh, did she put it back in? Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh no. Honestly, I wish I had one of those memes. Oh no. Oh no. That's what I need right now. Oh my gosh, not the tooth falling out. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyways, Taught and Tiaras is worth watching than grown old females acting foolish. Sis. Yeah, it definitely has been a foolish season. It just feels like everyone is just out here just doing stupid ish. It's exhausting, it's tiring. It's like, guys, like what are we doing? There has to be more. Like, what are we doing? It's just too much. There was also something that I saw, which is Porsche reposted something that someone had to say, where someone said Kelly has so much to say about Porsha and her family, but she missed the first day of her daughter's school just to be on a girls' trip. I'm like, I hear it, but at the same time, I'm like, sometimes mothers gotta work, right? Sometimes people gotta work, financially. If you need to take care of your children, you have to think about, can I afford to not be can I afford to not go to this work event or whatever because I want to go to the first day of my daughter's school. Of course I want to go, but sometimes it's not possible, right? So I just think, yeah, I don't. Porsha reposted that. I'm like, yeah, Porsha, nah, you need to stay out of doing stuff like that. And this is why people are gonna drag you, because if it was about Pilar and someone said anything about your, or insinuated anything about your, the way you parent, you would not like it. So I think she should have stayed out of the mess and not retweeted that tweet. Personally, I would have stayed out of it. But yeah, anyways, I think those are all of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Um, but yeah, actually, there was one more thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today. But it's nothing to do with like it's nothing to do with like the shows or anything. It's just something where I've noticed that I've been getting a lot of like disrespectful people coming over on this channel, and I'm a little bit like, okay, just so you know, so if you're new to this channel, we have some rules, honey. We keep it respectful over here. Even if you don't agree with me, you're not allowed, you don't have to agree with me. I love people disagreeing with me. I love being able to have a dialogue in the comments and talk to you guys. But it's like, bruh, some of the disrespectful comments, I was having to block some people over the weekends. Like, I was like, what is going on? Even this week, even yesterday or 2 days ago, I had to block a bunch of people. I was like, what in the disrespectful comments are these? It's like, even if you want to like say whatever you want to say, I'm okay with you having completely different views. But when you start being disrespectful, just so you know, I will be blocking you. Or if my head touches that day, I will drag you, then I will block you. So normally I keep it very civil and sweet and nice, but I don't want to feel like I have to now start clapping back at people constantly in the comments. So if you bring that negative energy, just know you will get blocked. You're allowed to disagree as much as you want. I have dialogues with people that don't agree with me on anything. We chat it up in the comments, we talk about it, we move on. It's not an argument. You say your side, I say my view, we move on. Simple. But if you come over here being disrespectful, you will get blocked. That is it. That is all. Um, in the past, I used to wonder, like, why is it that like certain YouTubers be in the comments like fighting back and stuff, but now I get it. Cause like some people really be saying some vile things. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? Is everything okay at home? Because I'm just like, I can't imagine like going over to someone's page to comment such filth. It's just crazy work. So next time, I'm just saying, like, I know you guys that are hanging with me would never do such, but like, just for people that may catch the replay as well, or new subscribers, just know it's a community over here. We're very respectful. So if you don't want to be respectful, just don't even bother leaving the comment. Thank you. Keep it moving. All right, on that note, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much to everyone in the comments. And shout out to Miss Duggan. Miss Duggan, to you. I say that because it feels like she's catching the replay or watching like the start of the video, because some of the things she's saying are things that we had talked about earlier. But still, you're welcome. Thanks for joining in as well. Thank you, Barbara, for engaging in the chat. Thank you, AA. Thank you, Harriet Fox. Thank you, Laura Stokes. Thank you, Barbara Reed. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining in today. Thank you. Thanks to everyone who left a like, who subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button again, just to make sure like you really hit it the first time. Subscribe, share as well, because even if you don't like the content, maybe your friend might like the content. So please share the content as well. And yeah, tap that notifications bell as well, because nowadays I'm starting to come live a little bit more often as well. So yeah. But yeah, thanks for hanging with me. Your girl is tired. I want to go and watch some random Korean drama. Like, I don't even know which one I have lined up, but I usually just like screenshot them when I stumble on them on Instagram, right? So I screenshot them, and then later in the day I just like I watch like maybe one or two, and then I'm like, okay, time for bed. Pick it back up again next or the next day or something. But anyways, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your time and your engagement, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.